Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take the second shloka, chant it. Atitaf pantanam tava cha mahima vang manasayo atadvyavrityayam chakitam abhidhatte shrutirapi sakasya stotavyah kati vidhagunah kasya vishayah pade tvarvachine patati namanah kasya navachah. This stotra, I said I am using the tune generally used in the north, but in some places they make only the third line higher and the other three. In some places they are the second and fourth line made higher, which I am using that way. Okay. So we were just seeing that words have limited scope. So in our Shastra, they have found that words have scope only with reference to jati, guna, kriya, sambandha. Sorry, I find myself. So, that is jati here does not mean caste community. Jati means a species. I'll explain further. Guna means an attribute. Kriya means a function. Sambandha, relationship. So, like, you use words to say, okay, this is a cow, this is a horse, this is a pen. Now, supposing I tell you, think of a pen. Now, many of you will have your own concepts about a pen. So, some with a separate lid, some with just the press type, some of a blue color, some of towards a black color, whatever. So, still there is a common thing that runs when you say pen. When I say cow, somebody can think of a Deshi cow. So here the South Indian cow, somebody can think of a Gir cow from Gujarat, somebody can think of a Jersey cow. Still there is a basic thing that is called jati, the species. Okay. Then there is guna. Guna means attribute. So you have attribute, okay, this is a white cow, a brown cow, this is a horned cow, this is a fat cow, lean cow. Like this attribute you can talk, you can use words. Okay. Then function. So what is the function of something? So this person is a cook, this person is a driver, so this person manages. So like this you use words to describe the function. Then sambandha. So the relationship between two things. So it can be between two human beings, it can be two inanimate things, it can be about a human being and something. So I am on this seat. Okay. So you can say my feet are under this table. So like this, or this person is, these two persons are related as father and son. So like this you can have various relationships that can be described in words. then the mind can understand certain concepts like tone, like shades, beauty, love, etc. But again, that concept of the shade, the beauty, love, etc. differs from person to person. The mind can also infer, guess, speculate. We have got a word also, gesticulate. So you can combine speculation and guessing, etc. together. You can extrapolate into the future. You can go back. That if it is like this today, it must have been like this previously, etc. So the mind can do these things, but still only based on any inference, any extrapolation, any guessing, speculation is all based on what already the senses can perceive at present. Still, whatever it be, the full extent of Ishvara's attributes and Ishvara's greatness is still unimaginable. Now, Brahman, the ultimate truth, which is formless or attributeless, is not available for any sense organs. So it doesn't make any sound for you to hear. It doesn't have a color for you to see. It doesn't have a taste, etc. Therefore, looking at all these things, this Nirguna Brahman is not available for words, it is not available for thoughts, it is not available for any speculation about who Ishvara or Brahman can be, it is not available for inference, extrapolation, etc. Because any speculation, extrapolation, all those inference, everything is based on some already available data only. If Brahman cannot be known through the Indriyas and the mind, etc., at least the scriptures, the Shruti, Veda is called Shruti. Veda is the scriptures for us, and it is called Shruti because it was transmitted only by, the teacher would chant and the person would hear and then keep it in the mind, and in turn, later time, they will teach it to their students, etc. So it is called Shruti. So that Shruti, that also, Shruti it should be an authority on this. It's a form of words. That at least it should be able to point out that Brahman through words. But see, if words also cannot point out Brahman, then how will Veda, how will Shruti, which is supposed to teach us about Ishvara and Brahman, how will it be? How will it be able to point out? So this is a question. So the first line said, Tava Mahima Vangmanasayoho Pantanam Atitaha. So your greatness is beyond the scope of words and the mind. Okay, when that is so, then Shruti Rapi, this Veda also, Atadvyavritya Yam Chakitam Abhidatte. So this Shruti also, the Veda Pramana, which points out to you only by using negating words. So words that keep on negating whatever concept we may have about Brahman is being negated. So the Shruti Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, for example, repeatedly says Neti Neti. So you have got a work called Pratasmaranam in that. Yam neti neti vajanaihi nigamaha avochuhu. Okay. So if any, as I pointed out earlier, if any one word that is used for Brahman, it will negate the opposite. So if Brahman is good means what is bad is not included in Brahman. Brahman is tall, it is not short. If Brahman is fat, it is not lean. Whatever. So any one word you use, it is actually negating that. So so you have to negate even that word. So Brahman, the word Brahman itself has a meaning big. Now normally, this is also something very interesting in the Shastra, the way of teaching. So you talk about, big is supposed to be an adjective. And then you use it as an adjective for something else. So now big mustard. See, generally, in south, the mustards are small. In the north, you have mustards are a little big. So you big mustard. When you say big mustard, however big that mustard is, you are not going to expect the size of a pea for mustard. Therefore, the mustard, which is supposed to be the noun, which is qualified by big, you say big qualifies the word mustard. The mustard itself is qualifying the big, because bigness can only be mustard big. It cannot be any bigger than that. So you say big pea. So then that may be, that big pea can be not big like a pumpkin. It will be only big enough to be like, say, a peanut. So, or we say some small grape. So, any word that you are using along with the word big, that itself restricts the meaning of big. So, if you are saying big pumpkin, still you are not going to look up at the sky. So, but it's a big mansion, you may look up how big it is going. Big mountain, you may look up. So, that Brahman itself, the word Brahman itself has a meaning. If you just use big without any noun to restrict the meaning of big, it means limitlessly big. So that is why the word Brahman is used to for Ishvara. Okay. So you don't just say big, it is limitlessly big. When it is limitlessly big, every small is also included into it. Now supposing you say, we always generally say God is kind, God is good, etc. Then what will happen? So anything that is not kind is outside Ishvara. Anything that is not good will be outside Ishvara. So it will become a problem. So whatever concept we have of God, okay, now is always a limited concept. So we say God is all that is good. And in some religions you have this thing that therefore all the time he is threatened by a Satan who will undo everything that Ishvara does. So then you cannot be limitlessly big. Because if he is going to be threatened all the time by one Satan who will undo everything that Ishvara does, it will become a problem. So any attribute, any form, anything that you say about Brahman, you will always limit that Brahman. So Shastra just says it is Sat, it is existing, it is Chit, it is conscious. Then uses the word Anantam along with it. Anantam means that which has no limit, that which has no end. So any other word, that's why in the evening Ashtottara you have here. So you'll have all negating words. Ahrasva, it is not short. Then is it tall? Adirga. Then if it is astula, it is not fat. Then is it lean? No, it is ananu. So like this, every word, ashariram, it has no body, apadipadam, it doesn't have any limbs, achakshuhu, ashrotram, every word is only negating. What Brahman is not, that is being negated. So any existence consciousness and any other word that you add to it is not Brahman. So atadvyavritya, by negating everything what it is not, that Brahman is pointed out through words. So in the Upanishads you have the evening Ashtottara is based on the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which says, so achintyam, it is not available for the mind. So it is avikaryam, it is not available for modifications. So like this, achedya, ashoshya, like this it goes on. Atad vyavritya, atad, tat means that. Atad means what it is not. By vyavritya, by negating whatever it is not, that is how that Brahman, Shruti also, Veda also points out, Veda also uses words, but Veda does not use words to point out Brahman as the direct meaning of the words. It uses negating words to negate whatever Brahman, whatever concept we can have about Brahman. So when that is so, that is why we cannot give a gender, a location, a form to Ishvara. Okay. Now, see, this also I want you to understand. Then again they say, so, okay, so again, what happens is, you say there's no form, but then you try to keep a cross. So again, at least a form, something that a cross is given to associate. You say there is no form, but words of the scripture will be written there for worshipping. Or there is a particular direction given towards that alone you should do worship. If God has no form, you must be everywhere, then any direction you can look at and worship. That is because they do not have something called what is to be understood at an absolute level and what is to be understood at a relative level. Those two distinctions are not there, and that is why this problem. So here the scriptures clean, they understand that at the ultimate level this is how it is. But at the relative level, for us to relate, certain forms etc. are given. For that we understand that through the forms we try to understand is a truth that transcends forms. So, when that is so, atadvyavritya chakitam abhidatte. So with trembling, the chakitam here means with a trembling, with so frightened, it does try to use words to point out that this thing. Sa kasya stotavyaha kati vida gunaha kasya vishayaha. So when this is so, all right, at least this Nirguna Brahman, you cannot talk about Brahman without attributes, etc. You cannot talk about through words. But what about this Saguna Ishvara? So that also, you cannot say whatever you say about that, that also is a problem. So you can never say this much alone is the knowledge of Ishvara, this alone is the form of Ishvara, these alone are the attributes of Ishvara, this alone is the capacity of Ishvara, this much alone is the pervasion of Ishvara, this much alone is the capacity to rule this. Okay. So not more, not less. This much alone you can never say. So, so anirvachaniyatvat, because it cannot be categorically defined or this thing. So at least even the Saguna Ishvara along with the gunas, so kati vida gunaha. So how many, what are all the types of attributes that Ishvara has got? Kenapi jnatum na shakyate. It is not possible for anybody to know that. Kasya vishayaha, kasya pramanasya vishayaha. So for what pramana, what means of knowledge does Ishvara become an object? So he doesn't become an object of perception by any of our sense organs, not available for that. And what is not available for perception by our sense organs, based on that it is not available, as I already pointed out to you, not available for inference, not available for any type of speculation, etc. So, so saha kasya, kativida gunaha, kasya vishayaha, therefore kasya stotavyaha. So who can praise this person? For whom does he become an object of praising? So nobody can really categorically define and describe and praise that Ishvara. As to how many attributes he has got, or by what pramana, what means of knowledge I come to know this. Okay. Two. So there is one two in the fourth line. So, arvachine pade. Arvachina means lower. So, arvachine pade. So, smriti puranokta gunarupataya. So, now the Shruti itself, out of compassion, gives us certain forms and certain attributes for us to relate by saying, or for example, Shiva is like this. Shiva is called Chandrasekhara because he has got a a moon on the forehead. He is a Nilakanta. He has got a blue neck, etc., etc. So this is a particular form that the Lord takes for the blessing the people, and therefore in such a form that is given, even though that is not the highest form, it is still Arvachina, it is a lower form of Ishvara that is given. But still, Kasya Vachaha na patati, Kasya Manaha na patati, with reference to something that is available at least with what is presented to us by the Shastra, with a form, with some attributes, etc., for the devotees to relate. So, Kasya Vachaha na patati, whose words will not fall into that line. Kasya Manaha na patati, whose mind will not fall for it. These are rhetoric questions. Whose mind will not fall for it means whose mind will not turn towards this form, definitely it will turn towards this form. Whose words will not have access. So everybody can definitely, when the Smritis and Puranas give us the form with certain attributes, certain leelas, certain things that have been done by Ishvara, then our mind automatically gets drawn towards that form. Then also there is a form given, there are feet to hold on to. We look at that with a form with hands, which is supposed to give us, generally you have like this. So that is supposed to bless you. So I am there to protect you. So I am there to give you whatever you want, etc. So Varada Abhaya Hasta we say. So we have got a face to relate to, we have got the eyes to give, so that a compassionate look is presented in that form. Therefore the Lord looks at me with compassion, etc. So, and then a nice form with nice clothes or ornaments, everything, etc., so that I can praise Ishvara as Chandrasekhara, Neelakanta, Jatadhari, Pannagabhushana, like this we can do that. So, Bhaktavatsala, etc. So, though it is not possible to write a Nirguna Brahma Stotra, excepting negating words, though it is not possible to completely talk about all the attributes that Ishvara has got, still there are forms that are given, and therefore it is possible. So many Mahatmas have written stotras, Keshadi Pada Varnana, Padadi Kesha Varnana, so describing the Lord from top to bottom or bottom to top, etc. So when ordinary humans are praised, they may get overwhelmed and become ecstatic. But Ishvara, no praise or stuti for him is a wonder. And so every praise, as it falls short of him, as we saw in the morning class. So here, the Bhagavan does not need any stotra from us. Bhagavat stotra is not for the sake of Bhagavan, it is for our own sake, for purifying us, purifying our mind. So that we understand, we get the grace of Ishvara and understand him. I am using the word him. Please understand, whenever I am using the word him, her also is included. Whichever way. That is why Parabrahman is always the neuter gender. So you can invoke as Devi, you can invoke as Ishvara, whatever you want. So he is going to tell, Pushpadanta is going to say in the next shloka that when it is not really possible to praise, I have the audacity to praise you because it is for purifying myself. That I know my words will fall short, so it is not that you want my praise, it is only to purify myself. Madhuspita vachaha paramamamritam nirmitavataha tava brahman kim vag api sura guror vismaya padam Mamatvetam Vanim Gunakatana Punyena Bhavataha Punamityartesmin Puramatana Buddhir Vyavasita. Second line, you have a word Brahman. So, hey Brahman, Suraguroho Madhuspita Vagapi Tava Kim Vismaya Padam. Okay. So, hey, O Lord, now Suraguru means Brihaspati, who is the Lord of the Devas. Okay. And he is called Brihaspati Vachaspati. So he is supposed to be, a master of words. And so such a guru, Suraguru, that Brihaspati also, Madhuspita Vagapi. So if even he were to utter words which abounding in sweetness, so he is a master of words, and then he chooses choice words, and then all Madhuspita really are just flowing with sweetness. Even if he were to, that sort of a work, that sort of a speech also, Tavakim Vismaya Padam, is it going to be something that is going to cause wonder to you? So will you get amazed by what Brihaspati has said about you? I never knew all these things about me. Now Brihaspati has revealed to me what I am. No, he is never going to understand. Remember the first sloka, always anybody's thing is going to fall short. So will it be a wonder for you? This is a rhetoric question. Whenever there's a rhetoric question asked, means the opposite is stressed. So will it cause any amazement, wonder to you? No, it will not cause. That's the stress. And what sort of a you, here he says, Vachaha Paramam Amritam Nirmita Vataha Tava. So, you are the creator, you are the author, the source of the words of the Vedas. So, Vachaha. So, you are the one who is the, I will connect it up. So, you are the author of the Vedas. So, it is our, that is this Shraddha we have, that in every religion this is in a way true, that we always say the scriptures have been revealed by Bhagavan. That is why they are called revelations. Now the only question is, whenever the certain things are pointed out about as revelations by Ishvara, revealed by Ishvara, then we should see, since they are in the form of words, any interpretation should be proper and it should not be illogical. Okay, that it should not go against logic. Even though what is pointed out by the scriptures should be beyond logic, we will be seeing, but it should not be illogical. I will give you one instance. We say from the revelations, you know that if you are good on this earth, you will go to heaven. And you will go to a permanent heaven. So once you go to heaven, then you will be permanently there, you will never come back. Now this is against logic, that if you do good actions, you will go to heaven, accept. But if you do actions on earth, and then you will go permanently to heaven, now such people, they don't accept a rebirth. If at all they talk about a rebirth, it has got a different meaning. So they say all that you have got is one janma. And this one janma, somebody may die in the womb itself. Somebody may die immediately after birth. Somebody just lasts for 1 year. See, that is why in our culture, they will celebrate the completion of the first year. Then they will celebrate next birthday is only completion of 60th year. And then again if they survive, 80th year. Okay. Otherwise, every birthday we don't celebrate. And especially the first birthday is celebrated because, there are so many things, ifs and buts that are there, and the child should survive the whole thing. That is why today so many vaccinations within this first year that we have to do, because they have to survive all those things. Now, so one child may live only for 1 year, something may die, so infancy death is there. As a youngster, there's a death is there. As an old person, death is there. Now that means the time given to you on earth varies from person to person, number one. Number two, the background in which you are born. Also, some people are born, so the mother is in some way in the wrong way, the father is some way in the wrong way, etc. So whole society the person is born in is adharmic, then the person will naturally go to adharma. So, whereas a person who is born in a very dharmic, virtuous family, that person, it's no wonder that the person follows all the virtues. So again, the background that in which you are created also differs from person to person. And who has done all that? The lifespan is given by Ishvara. The background in which you are born is given by Ishvara. When all that is so, there is so much of difference from person to person. You have got only one birth. And in this birth, whatever good actions or bad actions you do, on that you will be judged. And you will be either sent to permanent hell or permanent heaven. It doesn't seem logical. That there is a heaven and hell, we know from the scriptures. But whether it is permanent or whether that such a compassionate Lord will judge you on, what all that has been given to you, based on that he will judge and then say. Then naturally, then some class has to walk in. So, see, in life, even in the exams, etc., supposing you say 50 marks is pass mark, 50 marks and above. There is not much of a difference between somebody who's got 49 marks and 50 marks. There's really not much difference. But still somewhere you have to draw a line. So here also Lord has to draw a line. And so on what basis? Somewhere something specially should be there. So whoever believes in this person alone as Ishvara will go to permanent heaven. The person who doesn't believe in this person as the ultimate Ishvara, believes in somebody else, will go to hell. That doesn't look like a compassionate. I am not criticizing anything. This is not logical. On the other hand, even in our locally, you have got what is called, you can rewrite an examination. If you didn't do well in an examination, you can rewrite the examination, and then there is always chance given to us. So, and again, the so-called government also gives us chances. If you come from a background where there is not much exposure to studies, etc., father, mother are illiterate, and you come from such a background, you will be given some special preference that with lesser marks you will get admission. So if you are a backward community, you will get with lesser marks also. When the government, our local government can be compassionate, how will Lord not be compassionate? Therefore, it doesn't stand to reason. So when the scriptures say something, then what will happen is, it should be something that what it says is what you cannot logically arrive at, but it should not be opposite, it should not be opposed to logic. This must be very clear. So, where I started, I'll go. So, all religions accept that their scripture is revealed by Ishvara. Only thing is, in our scriptures, there is a particular way also of analyzing the scriptures logically. Even though scriptures point out what cannot be known by logic, still there is a method of logically analyzing it. And that is called Mimamsa Shastram, and this is how it should be interpreted, otherwise there will not be a problem, it will be illogical, etc. looked into. And the scriptures have come from Ishvara. And from that, this thing, from the, what sort of words is it? So the scriptures are given, that especially in the Veda, the Upanishads are given because you can get the best amritam called moksha from the words of the scriptures. You have got some amritam. That amritam which devas and asuras churned, and then the devas got that amritam, will postpone death for a length of time. Okay? The devas themselves have got a longer lifespan when compared to us, and still when they are fighting with the asuras, it will postpone their death for a while. Still they are also jivas, means they are subject to death. Okay? So paramam amritam means it must be it should be an absolute deathlessness. So that is what is called moksha. Right now there is not much scope for talking about it here, so I won't talk much about it. So you have given out the words of the scriptures. From that vachaha, from those words, you are the one who has pointed out that is, that paramam amritam can be gained by that. Paramam amritam nirmitaha tava. So you have said that it will give you the moksha itself. Now, so ordinary words can be sweet. Sweet words can give temporary happiness. But the words of the Shastra can give you permanent, so lasting happiness. It gives you freedom. So if the words of such a great person like Brihaspati, who is proficient in the knowledge and use of words, his words also cannot surprise you, for the one whose words are those of the scriptures and give you the ultimate happiness and the ultimate amritam. Then somebody may turn to me, Pushpadatta says, thinks, somebody may turn around to me and ask me, Brihaspatehe api atinyunaha bhavan katam stave pravartate. If Brihaspati also cannot cause any wonder, his words also cannot cause any wonder to Bhagavan, then you are, what sort of a person are you? You are far inferior to Brihaspati. Then that you are making an attempt to write this stotra, is it not a matter of laughter? So the Pushpadanta thinks, somebody may ask him like this, and therefore he comes out, Hey Puramatana, O destroyer of Tripura, the Tripuras, okay, Bhavataha Gunakatana Punyena, by the punya that I will earn through talking of your glories, however short my words can fall, so of your true glories, still I am talking your glories. And I will earn certain punya because of that. Tava gunakatana punyena, by the punya that I will gain by talking about your gunas, your attributes, your mahima. Mama etam vanim punami. I will purify this vagindriya, this organ of speech of mine. So by uttering this, he points out something. By uttering the Lord's names, Lord's attributes, we purify our own speech. Okay? When that iti asmin arte, for this reason alone, mama buddhihi vyavasita. So my buddhi, my intellect is putting forth this effort. So my mind is engaged in the activity of composing this stotra, not to cause any amazement to you, not for any other reasons, simply because it will purify my speech, it will purify my mind. For this reason alone, I am taking up a determined effect. So vyavasaya, a determined effect I have I have taken up in composing this stotra. So I understand you don't stand to gain anything from my praise, but I stand to gain something from praising you. Therefore, he points out the more we praise Ishvara, the more we understand Ishvara. The more we understand Ishvara, the more we can praise Ishvara. The more we understand Ishvara, we bring more of Ishvara into our life. And more Ishvara in our life, less our ego, less disturbances of the mind and conflicts. There is more peace and relaxation. So this is what I want to achieve by praising you. I am not trying to, trying to assume that I am a great person in praising you. I understand I am a simple person, but still I want to purify myself. That is why I am engaged in trying to praise you. We'll go to the next. Tavaishwaryam yattat jagadudaya raksha pralaya krit trayi vastu vyastam tisrishu guna binna sutanushu. I think Tisrushu, there is some mistake there. The hook must be in the other side. Tisru is not there. Tisrushu it should be. Okay. Abhavyanamasmin Varadaramaniyamaramani Vihantum Vyakroshim Vidhata ihaike jadadiyaha. He Varadha. So the third line in the middle you have, O giver of boons. Okay, whatever we pray for, the one who gives. Okay. Yat tava aishwaryam. So the word aishwaryam very often is used in the meaning of Aishwarya. People think some prosperity, etc. Aishwarya really means Ishwarasya bhavaha, Ish to rule. So Aishwarya means overlordship, the capacity to rule. So this Ishvara bhavam, the overlordship, that the overlordship of yours, tat trayi vastu, that fact is trayi vastu. It is a subject matter revealed by trayi, the three Vedas. Okay. So is it 4 Vedas or 3 Vedas? So if you have a doubt here, and why does it say only trayi in many places? So it is based more on the Atharvana Veda is really mostly it has got only Rig mantras. So based on the type of mantras you say trayi. So Rig mantras are more like poetry form, Yadur mantras are more like prose form, and the Samaveda is more like singing. Okay. So these are the 3 types of mantras. Therefore, so the Vedatraya Pratipadyam, that is that fact that your overlordship, that is revealed by the 3 Vedas, that is the Veda mantras. And in what form is this overlordship? Jagad Udaya Raksha Pralayakrit. So you, as the capacity, as the Shakti Samarthyam, Udaya in creating this world, Raksha in protecting and sustaining this world, and Pralayakriti in finally doing Samhara, dissolution of this universe. So that Ishvara power that is there with you, which is in the form of creating, sustaining and resolving this universe. how can one person do all these three things? So it is tisrishu guna bhinnasu tanushu vyastam. Okay. So that capacity is placed, vyastam, it is placed in tisrishu tanushu, in three different forms, which are three different forms are different based on the gunas. Okay. So guna bhinnasu, because based on the gunas they are different. So in three different bodies, in three different forms, as Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra. So one overlordship which only is the cause for creating, sustaining and resolution of this world. It is placed in three forms as Brahmaji, who keeps the Rajoguna under his control and creates. And in the form of Vishnu, who keeps the Sattva Guna under his Vasha and protects. And in the form of Rudra, who keeps the Tamo Guna under his Vasha and then destroys. So that is like the portfolios are divided. So you have got in these three forms as though divided because of the three gunas of Maya. Now here you should understand a few facts. Number one, we say Maya is Triguna, that Maya Shakti is Triguna. Here the word guna does not mean attribute. It actually means, guna has got a different meaning, like a string. Like certain a rope, etc., you have got three strands. Three strands are wound together like a rope. So the guna is like the three strands of that Maya Shakti. And they are known as Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Sattva is more a peaceful this thing, and Rajoguna is more something active, and Tamoguna is more something that is like resting, etc. Now please understand one more thing. For creating you need Rajoguna. That does not mean Brahmaji is Rajasic. Understand? Brahmaji takes this Rajas aspect of that Maya Shakti and creates. Okay, because some people actually make this Brahma is a Rajasic Devata, Rudra is a Tamasic Devata, and Vishnu is Satvika Devata, etc. That is not so. So what should be held, what should be predominantly used? So Vishnu uses the Sattva-guna aspect and protects. Rudra uses the Tamoguna aspect and destroys. So it is as though divided based on the three gunas of the Maya into three upadhis, three forms with really no Beda. Okay. So the moment you talk about this Maya's gunas and also some function, Maya Shakti walks in. So always you cannot talk about creation or sustenance or dissolution without the Maya Shakti accompanying Brahman. Iha, in this world, the last line, it is there. Iha, in this world, eke jadadiyaha. So some jadadiyaha means some people with inert buddhis, manda buddhis. So these people, dull-witted people. So especially he refers to Nastikas, atheists, okay, who are not capable of thinking properly. Now this is another particular thing you should note here, those who are interested. Ekaha is singular, but occasionally you can use a plural for eka. So, in English also we say, like for example, I just tell you, the ones who have not received this bag, come and receive it from me. So you can use ones, not O-N-C-E, but O-N-E-S. So those who have not received. Like that in Sanskrit also, ekaha, eko, eke you can also have. So some people, it means. So some people who are jadadiyaha, who are dull-witted, okay. So he calls those people who don't accept an Ishvara as jadadhi, dull-witted persons. So asmin vyakroshim vidhadate. So by Sandhi, Vidadate has become Vidadata. Okay. So these people, Vidadate, they offer Vyakroshi, various criticisms and arguments, Asmin Vishaye, in this fact of your creating, sustaining, etc., that your existence and your, as to your existence and Aishwarya, capacity to rule, with that they place certain arguments. Tat vihantum. So to refute, that is, they place arguments, tat vihantum, to refute your existence and Aishwarya, they place arguments that Ishvara doesn't exist, such a person is not necessary, etc. They place arguments. And what are these arguments? Like, he says, abhavyanam ramaniyam. So it is very pleasant to hear for abhavya people, means asat, for those people, ignorant, proud people, who are devoid of punya, for them, it looks committed a little to papa, for them abhavya, so asat, apunya janmas, for them it looks very, very pleasant to hear such arguments. But in reality, it is aramani. But in reality, it is unpleasant because ninda of Ishvara and Veda. So criticism or condemnation of Ishvara and Veda is not acceptable. So Swamiji used to say, there was one person in Tamil Nadu. He was called Periyar, great person. And then what will happen is, so Swamiji used to say about in the Marina Beach in Chennai, sometimes they have big, big, they assemble people and they give big speeches, etc. And such a place, this person stands there and says, who has seen God? If there is a God, I give him 2 minutes. If he is there, let him come and make his presence known to me. Okay? And then you look at the watch like this and look at everybody. 2 minutes gone, he has not come. Therefore, he is not there. So then everybody is there to clap. Okay? And then call him Periyar. What a foolish thing, say. So first of all, is Ishvara, is somebody available at the beck and call of this person? That if he gives 2 minutes, he should come immediately with fear. Oh, you call me? I should come and say. So such a foolish thing. Okay. And again, we have got now another, their offshoots that are coming here. Okay. So somebody will say this Veda Sanatana Dharma is some myth propagated by Brahmanas. They want to propagate it because they want some dakshinas. Okay. This dharma should be destroyed like mosquito, dengue fever, coronavirus, etc. What foolish people these people are. So it is ramaniya, it is pleasant to their followers. Okay, ignorant people with the wrong character, it is pleasing. But for God-fearing religious people, it is aramanim. It is, to hear that itself, to hear ninda of Ishvara itself is something that is so unpleasant. And there have always been people who have not accepted Ishvara. At any given time, there have always been people who have not accepted Ishvara. At this point, I just want to make one this thing. Again, in the teaching of this, in the Vedanta, etc., we use the word Nastika in two meanings. But predominantly, while teaching the Shastra, we use the word Astika and Nastika. So, in the meaning of those who believe in the authority of the Vedas, Vedasya Pramanyam Asti, that Veda has got, Veda is valid, the validity of the Vedas, validity of Vedas is there, Asti. Those people are called Astikas. Those people, Vedasya Pramanyam Nasti, Veda doesn't have a validity, those people are called Nastikas. So we have got 6 schools of thought who are called Nastikas, and 6 schools of thought which are called astikas. But generally, another meaning in which we use is Ishwaraha asti iti vadinaha. That Ishvara exists, those people who say theists, okay, if you can use the word. And Ishvaraha nasti iti, those people are nastikas, they are atheists. Okay. So among in the first definition that I gave, we have got a set of people called Purvamimamsakas. These Purvamimamsakas, they are very good in analyzing the words of the scriptures very logically. In fact, they have developed a particular thing called Mimamsa Shastram itself, hermeneutics, where you can analyze what is the methodology of analyzing the words of the Shastra. Because any word can always be, there are many meanings for a word. So in the context, what is the meaning that should be taken? They have done this analysis. But unfortunately, their Shraddha in the Veda is so much that they say Veda mantras and karma based on the Veda itself will give you all the results. You don't need an Ishvara to give you a result. So they don't accept an Ishvara. And for them also they say, this world was all the time there. If it is created only, you have to talk about an Ishvara. It has always been there. So that is their feeling. Now, then there are people who are Veda Bhahyas who do not accept the authority of the Vedas itself. Okay, so we have got those people. Like we have got the four schools of Buddhism, then Jainism, and the materialists of modern day materialists, all of them fall in this group. Previously there was one organized materialist group. Now the other set of people here, they all fall in this group. Now why is it that they negate an Ishvara and his Shakti? What are the reasons? So they have got certain questions and they want answers for those questions. Now the question is, normally our mind always moves from known to unknown. So we always look for that this is how whatever things I know works in this pattern, moves in this pattern. Therefore, what I have to know further also has to work within this paradigm only, it has to work. This is the thinking that the people have. Therefore, whatever is seen in the world, they want to project the same thing with reference to Ishvara. So Ishvara also must follow this pattern for them. And that is why they question because according to their understanding, this is how they expect, if there is an Ishvara, this is how it should be. And therefore, they question many things. So, so if there is a person, if there is an Ishvara and he is creating this world, etc., then he should have a reason for creating this world. Nobody does anything without having a reason. There must be some expectation by doing this particular action, then I expect something to happen to me. So that there should be a reason. And again here, according to this thing, supposing there is a potter. This potter is creating a pot. So this potter who is creating the pot, he should be located somewhere. Then he needs some material to make this pot. Then he needs also other paraphernalia to make this pot. And also he has got a purpose because he wants to sell this and make money, etc. He wants to prove his skill, etc. So this is how every person who does something, who creates something, there should be a reason for them. They should be located in a particular place. They should be using some material, etc. All these things, this is what we see in the world. Therefore, Lord also should follow in this pattern. And let us see. Now tell me what are all the things which the Lord uses for these things. With this question, the 5th shloka starts, which we will see in the evening class. Okay. Maybe today I may extend the evening class by 15 minutes because morning we got cut. I would like to do justice to the text and also at the same time Try to finish it before the 14th night. Okay. Om. Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yesterday also I made this point. Today also I am making this point. The three Shantis that are uttered for most of the other mantras are different. For Purnamadaha, the swara is different. Number one. And in Purnamadaha Purnamidam, there is no top swaram at all. Lot of people get into this Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. So this is not the tune. Try to get the proper swara. Okay.